Okay, so today we are doing lesson 6.6, which is almost the exact same as 6.5. It's just going to be twice the fun, okay? So when 6.5 we only had one equations, here we have two equations, okay? So if we're saying whether the ordered pair is a solution of the system, we're gonna have to check both equations. So one thing we talked about last week is when you guys first learned this, and the alligator would eat the bigger number, right? Okay, so is the alligator eating the bigger number here? Yes. Okay, so then we're just gonna say that it is true. All right, now we're going to do the same thing in the second equation where we're going to plug in y, we're going to plug in x, okay, and then you get -3 is less than 0. Sometimes 0 can be tricky, okay, but if you're comparing 0 to a negative number, is 0 larger or smaller than a negative? What do you guys think? What's bigger, a negative number or 0? 0. If you think of where it goes on a number line, right? If you're lining up numbers, right? The negatives would be down here, and the 0 would be up here, and then we cross over to the positive numbers, okay? So this is also true. All right, so we're going to do the explain together. So because they're both are true, the answer is yes. Okay, so it's yes because it's true for both inequalities. Okay, in order for it to be a solution of the system, it has to be true for both. Okay, so if it's only true for one of them, the answer is going to be no. So I know some of you have already done this. Okay, and then some of you are going to need to do part B. Okay, so let's plug this in for each. Okay, we'll come around and check. Alright, so let's check to see how you did. Alright, and then Reagan, you want to tell me if you said true or false for that first one? Good. So 5, it says 5 is less than 1. That's obviously not true. Right? And then, Gabe, what'd you get for the second one? Yeah, you got 5 is greater than or equal to 2, and yeah, so it's true. Okay, so if one is true but the other is false, your answer is going to be no. Okay, and that's because the point is false for the first inequality. All right, now for example 2, we're going to graph each system. And then that's what we did last time. So I'm feeling confident that you guys can graph some of those. But then we also are going to give 2 ordered pairs that are solutions and 2 that are not. So we're going to talk about that. Okay? The first line here, y is less than or equal to 3. What we're going to do is we are going to graph y equals 3, which is just a horizontal line, and then we're going to graph this one. Okay, I am going to give you straight edges. And then, do you guys remember if this is going to be a solid line or a dashed line? Avery, what are you thinking? Solid line or dash line for this? For y is less than or equal to 3.
That's going to be a solid, solid line.
Yep, and then how do you remember?
Because the graph on the paper says that if it's kind of solid line, and then it's going to be solid line.
Yep, so this one is going to be solid, this one is going to be dashed. And don't do your shading yet, because I know some of you are a little bit ahead of me. Okay, so because this was a solid line, we graphed it. We did our test point, 0, 0. We got 0 is less than or equal to 3. It was true, so I had to shade in the part where 0, 0 was, which was below the line. So now we're going to do something similar with this line. If you have y equals negative x plus 5, you're going to start at 5. Okay, so for y equals negative x plus 5, you're going to start at 5. And then remember, your slope is negative 1 over 1. So we're going to go down 1, we're going to go over 1. Down 1, over. Okay, and then once you have a good amount of points on there, if you want to use your straight edge for the rest of them, that is fine. But remember, this one is dashed. Okay, so not solid. So this one is dashed because you don't have the equal to, so we're just going to put some dashes in between those points we have there. And you want it to span the entire grid. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to use the same test point, but we're going to do it for the second one. Okay, so if you have y is greater than negative x plus 5, and you plug in 0, 0, what's negative 0 plus 5? Because you really can't even have negative 0, can you? It would just be 5, right? Good. Okay, so is 0 greater than 5?
No.
No, false. So if it's false, you do not shade 0, 0. Okay, when it is true, you shade the region where 0, 0 is. Okay, so here's 0, 0. So am I going to shade below this line or above this line?
Above.
Above. So the color that you're going to take is one of the ones on the board. So if you use blue for this one, you're either using red or yellow. If you use yellow, you're using blue or red. Okay, and then we are going to shade everything above this line. Okay? And yep, there's going to be some overlap. There's going to be some regions that are just blue, some that are just yellow, some that are both, some that are none. Bless you. Okay, and then your final step is to take that, now you're going to take your third color. So if you have blue and red, your third color is purple. If you have blue and yellow, your third color is green. If you have red and yellow, your third color is orange. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to shade in the overlap with that color. Okay, so you're going to shade in the region where they overlap. In this case, it's going to look like a triangular region. Okay, and that's going to help us with the last step. Okay, all right, so once you've colored that in, now when you are giving two ordered pairs that are solutions, guys, can you hold on for conversations? We're finishing this. Okay, so if you have your solutions, okay, your solutions are going to be where they overlap. Okay, so solutions are where the two regions overlap. Okay, so you're going to find, it says to just list two. So you're going to find two places where the colors overlap. Okay? So I try to find like some of the simple points. For example, I can see this point is definitely in my green region. So 8, 0 would be a solution. Okay, maybe I would also pick, oh, this is over 10, up 1. Okay, now there are many, many different points in that region. You only have to tell me 2. Okay, why did I pick those 2? Because they're random. I knew they were in the region. So you could pick 8, 0 and 9, 0, or 10, 0, or 7, 0. Okay, you could do 10, negative 1. You can do any point that is in that region. Okay? Now for the non-solutions, you can pick any point that is not in the green area. Yeah, so it could even be in this area over here. So like negative 4, 0, that's not a solution. If you want to put it in the white, in the spot that's in the white space, like here, 0, 4, that's not a solution. Okay, so the non-solutions are any place besides where the two colors overlap. Okay, so any point not in that region. Okay, so any point not in the blank region. So for me, my colored region is green. Okay, yours might be purple, or yours might be orange. So fill in your correct color. Okay. Okay, remember that you're always starting at that number that is added. And then your slope is 4 over 1. If they're both positive, you're going to go up 4 over 1. Okay, and then we said that this was a dashed line. I did not do a great job. Please forgive me. All right, and then before we do the second line, what we're going to do is we're going to determine where we're going to shade, okay? So, again, you can use 0, 0. You can use 0, 0 anytime it's not on the line, but when you plug that in to the first one, you have y is less than 4 times 0 plus 3. And then can you guys write down whether it's true or false? So this is red as 0 is less than 3. Or you can think of it as 3 is greater than 0. So is that true or false? What do you guys? True. Yep, great. Okay, so if it's true, we have to shade 0, 0. Okay, so is that above the line or below the line? It's slightly below it. Okay, so again, take that first color, and what we're going to do is we're going to shade under our line. So it is this whole region here. The shading is representing all of the solutions that make that inequality true. Okay, and then when you're ready, we can graph the second one. Okay, so for that one, I'm going to start at 1. Okay, and I know it's been a while since we've graphed the slope when you have a fraction, but remember, if it's 3 over 2, that's your rise over your run. So you're going to go up 3, right 2. Okay, so up 3, right 2. And then up 1, 2, 3, right 2. And I'm sorry because I know some of the grid points didn't turn out the best. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and then this is a solid line. Okay, so once you have that line, thank you. Once you have that line, when you're determining whether you're going to shade above that line or below it, we're going to do that test point again. So I still recommend 0, 0. But technically, you can use any point you want to. That's above the line or below the line. Okay, so here you end up with 0 is greater than or equal to 1. What's bigger, 0 or 1? 1. So this is false. Okay, so you're not going to shade 0, 0. Okay, so if you're not going to shade 0, 0, are you going to shade above the line or below it?
Above.
Above. So everything above it gets shaded. And then once you find the area where they overlap, that's what you're going to shade in your third color. Okay, notice again that your solution region is a triangle. Okay, and then you have to just pick any 2 points that are in that region, okay? So maybe 4, 8. And if you can just put where they are, and then we're going to label it. So that one's 4, 8. Do you guys want to come up with your own for the next one? So it can be any point that's in the green. So 6, 2 would be here, right?
2, 6.
Okay, 2, 6. Yup, that is in the green. Awesome. We could put 6, 2 where though? Yeah, 6, 2 could be the one of the no solutions because it's only in the yellow region. Okay, we could put one over here that's just in the blue region. That would be -8, 0. It just has to be any 2 of those points. Okay?